Low carb, so simple. Gluten-free, sugar-free ketogenic recipes with 5 ingredients or less. Easy carnivore pizza crust. This easy carnivore pizza crust is a perfect option for all who are following an animal food-based diet, and of course, a keto diet. This fiber-free crust pampers your gut and doesn't disturb it with harsh plant matter. Moreover, it's super satisfying and keeps you going for hours, maybe even days. In this video, I'll show you how to make a mouth-watering pizza crust made entirely from animal products. That's right, no flour, no grains, no nuts, and no fuss. Whether you're following a low-carb or keto diet or simply looking for a fun and tasty vehicle for your favorite pizza toppings, this carnivore pizza crust is sure to satisfy your cravings. So, let's get started and make a pizza crust that's as delicious as it is easy. What is this carnivore pizza crust about? Let's dive deeper into the ingredients of this unbelievably satisfying and incredibly easy pizza crust. Chicken, the heart of the crust. The star of this crust is ground chicken. Yep, you read it right, chicken. Ground chicken is the perfect ingredient for a keto, carnivore pizza crust for so many reasons. First of all, it's a zero-carb ingredient, which means you can indulge in your pizza cravings without any guilt and carb counting. This doesn't mean you should overeat, though. Plus, it's neutral tasting and incredibly satiating, so you won't even miss the traditional carb-heavy crust. But wait, there's more. Ground chicken is also light in color, which means your pizza will look just like the real deal. And did I mention that chicken is an excellent and complete protein source packed with nutrients? So, not only will your pizza taste amazing, but it will also be good for you. And let's not forget about the best part. Chicken pairs perfectly with all your favorite pizza toppings. Whether you're a pepperoni fanatic or a cheese lover, I am both. Ground chicken is the perfect base for your pizza creations. So, chicken makes this carnivore pizza crust delicious and nutritious. Eggs, the binding powerhouse. This recipe also contains eggs as a binding ingredient. Eggs are incredible little things. They are packed with nutrients like protein, genuinely healthy fats, vitamins, and they have some serious binding power. That's right, eggs are the perfect ingredient for a carnivore pizza crust because they help hold everything together like a boss. You see, when you mix eggs with ground chicken, the proteins in the eggs coagulate and form a wonderfully sticky matrix that binds everything together. It's like magic. And the best part is that eggs are a natural, whole food ingredient that you can feel good about eating. When making this carnivore pizza crust, don't forget to crack an egg into the mix. That one egg gives your crust that perfect texture and holds everything together like a dream. Plus, you'll get all those amazing nutrients that eggs are known for. It's a win-win situation, really. Cheese, the secret weapon. Cheese. Is there anything it can't do? It's delicious, and it's also the perfect ingredient for a carnivore pizza crust. Here's why. Firstly, cheese elevates the texture of the crust, making it incredibly tender and satisfying. It's like a warm, cheesy hug for your taste buds. And let's not forget the flavor explosion. Cheese adds a rich, savory depth that takes the crust to the next level. But here's the real kicker. When you use cheese in the crust, you're essentially creating a double cheese pizza. Instead of just piling cheese on top, you're incorporating it into the very foundation of your pizza, adding flavor, texture, and nutritional richness from within. It's a truly ingenious way to elevate your carnivore pizza game. Unrefined sea salt, the flavor enhancer. You know what they say, a little bit of salt can go a long way, especially when making this carnivore pizza crust. But not just any salt will do. We're talking about unrefined sea salt, baby. Why, you ask? Well, for starters, unrefined sea salt is packed with essential trace minerals that your body needs to function optimally. While the amount of these minerals in salt is small, they play a vital role in various bodily functions. And when it comes to choosing between unrefined sea salt and other salt varieties for my carnivore pizza crust, I want to make sure I'm getting the right balance of flavor and nutrition. Unrefined sea salt is a good source of iodine, containing small amounts of naturally occurring iodine. On the other hand, other natural salts, like Himalayan salt, while containing various minerals, have very low iodine content. In my cooking, I prioritize iodine, so unrefined sea salt is the better choice for my carnivore pizza crust. But let's cut to the chase. The real reason you need unrefined sea salt in your carnivore pizza crust is for the flavor. Ground chicken and eggs have a relatively neutral taste, so salt is crucial to bring out the flavors. And when you factor in the cheese, which already contains salt, you need to be mindful and avoid oversalting. You don't want to end up with a crust that's saltier than the sea the salt was evaporated from. Step-by-step instructions. Let's get cooking. First things first, wash your hands thoroughly. Making this carnivore pizza crust is incredibly simple. 1. Combine ingredients. In a bowl, combine 1 pound, 450 grams, ground chicken, 1 cup shredded mozzarella cheese, 1 organic free-range egg, and 1/2 teaspoon, or to taste, unrefined sea salt. Mix everything together well with your hands until thoroughly combined. This should take just a minute or less. 2. Form the crust. Place the mixture on a parchment paper-lined baking sheet. Using your hands, or a clean glove for better hygiene, gently pat the dough down to an even thickness of about 1/4 inch, 0.6 centimeters. Shape it into a round crust. 3. Pre-bake the crust. Bake the crust in a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius, for approximately 20 to 25 minutes, or until the juices run clear. 4. Top and bake. Once the crust is pre-baked, remove it from the oven and let it cool slightly. Top with your favorite pizza toppings. I personally love ham, pepperoni, and shredded mozzarella. 5. Bake and enjoy. Return the pizza to the oven and bake for an additional 5 to 10 minutes, or until the cheese is melted and bubbly. Let it cool for a few minutes before slicing and enjoying your delicious creation. How I came up with this easy and satisfying pizza crust. My pizza crust journey, from skeptic to enthusiast. Confession time. I've never been a huge pizza fan. I know. It might sound blasphemous, but it's true. While I don't dislike pizza, it's never been a go-to for me. Looking back, I realized why. It wasn't the toppings. I actually love those. The culprit, the crust. As a ketovore, traditional pizza crusts were off limits. Nut-based crusts often upset my stomach, and I wasn't a fan of the taste or texture of many low-carb alternatives. Even before keto, my pizza experiences weren't always positive. I remember my mom's thick, bland crusts from childhood. And don't even get me started on those dry, flavorless crusts at pizzerias. I almost choked trying to eat them. Then, I started wondering, could I create a pizza crust using only carnivore ingredients, completely bypassing those pesky grains and nuts? I'd seen some elaborate recipes online, but they often involved exotic ingredients like quail eggs, which aren't always readily available. I wanted something simpler, something that aligned with my needs. Around this time, I was working on a Finnish keto recipe ebook for my mentor. He requested a few pizza crust options, as Finns are undeniably pizza-obsessed. He suggested an egg white crust, but I'm not a fan of separating eggs. So, I decided to explore a purely carnivore option. The birth of the carnivore crust. It quickly dawned on me. Ground chicken would be the perfect base. It's neutral in taste, light in color, and packed with protein. Plus, it mimics the look and feel of a traditional crust. For binding, I opted for regular chicken eggs, readily available and incredibly versatile. And since I enjoy dairy, I decided to incorporate cheese for added flavor and texture. Finally, I added a pinch of unrefined sea salt to enhance the overall taste. For my initial experiment, I used 14 ounces, 400 grams, of ground chicken, a common package size here in Finland, 1 egg, 1 deciliter, roughly 6 2/3 tablespoons, of shredded cheese, 1/2 teaspoon of unrefined sea salt, and a touch of onion powder and dried oregano for extra flavor. The baking and tasting experience. I mixed everything together, pressed the dough onto a parchment-lined baking sheet, and baked it for 20 minutes. The initial result looked promising. Then came the topping and baking phase. I added tomato paste, ham, pepperoni, and more cheese. After a few minutes in the oven, the cheese melted beautifully, creating a mouth-watering masterpiece. Finally, the moment of truth, the taste test. And wow, it was delicious. This was the first time I truly enjoyed eating the crust of a pizza. The toppings were fantastic, but the crust itself held its own. So there you have it. A simple, delicious, and truly carnivore-friendly pizza crust. Give it a try and let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more carnivore recipes and healthy living tips. Happy cooking!